guys, I'm Chico from Chico Study Corner. Today I'll be dealing with the part 3 of electrochemistry. So without any further ado, let's get into the chapter. So first I'll be talking about the topic voltaic cell in the presence of an external potential or external current source. So we'll see that. Over here I've taken the example of a Daniell cell. We take examples as Daniell cell only because that's easier to understand. So first, I'll explain the image. This is the setup, the normal setup of a Daniell cell. We learned it in the previous lessons, previous parts. And this over here, it's the external potential. So there are three cases that we have to learn inside this heading. The first case is E0 cell is lesser than E external. Second case is E0 cell is equal to E external. Third case is E external is greater than E0 cell. So we learn that one by one. So the first one is E0 cell greater than E external. So what would come here? So what would be the external potential given? That would be anyway lesser than 1.1 volt. We know a Daniell cell has cell potential as 1.1. So over here it will be 1.1 volt. So, sorry, it's 1.1 volt. And then what are the observations that we can see when this is the condition? The first observation that we can see is the electrons move from zinc to copper, whereas the current flows from copper back to zinc. We know current is in the opposite direction of the electron flow. And next to talk is about the deposition and the dissolution. So over here the metal, the zinc dissolves in its electrolyte. Over here zinc dissolves. Here there is no zinc and it becomes Zn2 plus in solution. Over here copper gets accumulated over here, okay, at cathode. And now we will learn about the second case. Case 2 is when E0 cell is equal to E external. We learn. So here there is no accumulation. This case there is nothing that's happening. We'll rub it and redraw. So this is the setup. Now over here if E0 cell is equal to E external, what is the observation? The observation is there is no electron flow, there is no current flow, and the cell stops functioning. What does it mean that the cell stops functioning? If there is no current flow, what does an electrochemical cell do? It converts chemical energy to electrical energy. If there is no electrical energy, then the voltaic cell is not functioning. So the third one, the third case that we are going to learn is E0 cell is lesser. So over here it will become the way around, okay. And here what would happen? It will be the right opposite of the first case. What was the first case? In the first case what happened? Electron flow was from zinc to copper. So in this case it's from copper to zinc, and current flow is from zinc to copper. And deposition of Zn would happen on the anode, and the solution of copper to Cu2 plus in the solution happens. So this is the first topic that we have to discuss. The second topic is Nernst equation. So before I telling about Nernst equation, we know E0 cell is the voltmeter reading at standard conditions. If the molar concentration is different, what would be the E0 cell? You can't represent it anymore as E0 cell. Instead, we will represent it as E cell. Okay. So now Nernst equation gives the direct relationship between electrode potential and concentration. So we will see the general Nernst equation. So the general Nernst equation goes like this. E cell is equal to E0 cell minus 2.303 RT by NF into log product ion raised to stoichiometric coefficient divided by reactant ion raised to stoichiometric coefficient. So this is very important equation. You have to learn it. And then we have to know what are all the standard conditions and stuff. So over here R, the value of R is 8.314 joule Kelvin inverse mole inverse. The temperature is equal to 298 Kelvin, and N is equal to the number of electrons. F is equal to 96,500. Yeah, this is all. And then the simplified version of this equation is as follows. I will show you. So over here, E cell is equal to E0 cell. After substituting all these values, it will become minus 0.059 divided by N into log, what is it? Product ion raised to stoichiometric coefficient divided by reactant ion raised to stoichiometric coefficient. So this is a simplified version of the equation. Now we'll deal with a Nernst equation for a Daniell cell, and this is another question. So first we'll discuss about the Daniell cell. So we know the Daniell cell reaction. Zn plus Cu2 plus gives Zn2 plus Cu. So what did we learn as the Nernst equation? The Nernst equation was E cell is equal to E0 cell of this is what? 1.1 mole. 1.1 minus 0.059 divided by how many number of electrons are there? There are 2. You see 2. So over here 2. And then log of P raised to, there is no stoichiometric coefficient, so P by R. Now we'll simplify and write it over here. So E cell is equal to 1.1 minus, what would be this 0.0295 divided by, there is no divided by log Zn2 plus by Cu2 plus. This is the Nernst equation for Daniell cell. This is Zn2 plus, why do you put in square bracket? That shows the concentration. When some ion is put in square bracket, that means it's concentration. So the second question is Cr, and we'll write that. Wait. So before we come, if you get a question, what you have to do is, you have to convert this to the half cell reactions, the half cell equations. So what is the first one? What is the oxidation or the anode reaction? Anode reaction is Cr giving Cr3 plus 3 electrons, and then Cd is Cd2 plus 2 electrons giving Cd. So this is the anode and cathode reactions. Now we have to write the Nernst equation. Before we writing the Nernst equation, we have to see whether the equation is balanced. Is it balanced? No, it is not balanced. Why is it not balanced? The number of electrons are not the same. So we'll change the number of electrons. So over here it's 3 and over here it's 2. What would be the LCM, or how would you make it common? So 3 into 2 is equal to 6. So we'll do it with 6. So what you will do? Multiply the whole equation into 2, and over here multiply the whole equation into 3. Yeah? And then what would be the outcome over here? It will become 2, and over here it will become 6 after all this process. Over here what will it become? 3 plus 2 over here, 3 into 2 is 6, and over here 3. Now you can write the Nernst equation. Why do you have to balance it always? It is because Nernst equation contains stoichiometric coefficients. Without stoichiometric coefficients, you can't write the Nernst equation. Now cancel. Now write the whole equation. 2Cr plus 3Cd2 plus giving 2Cr3 plus 3Cd. So this is the equation. Now the Nernst equation. The Nernst equation is E cell is equal to, E0 cell is not mentioned in the question, so we have to write it as E0 cell itself. It's just the representation. E0 cell minus 0.059 divided by, what is the number of electrons over here? It's 6. And then what happens? Log, what is our product ion? Product ion is Cr3 plus. So Cr3 plus raised to stoichiometric coefficient 2 divided by Cd2 plus raised to 3. This is our Nernst equation. So next we'll discuss about the Nernst equation for a half cell, for which a reaction is Mn plus n electrons give M. So this is a general mental representation. So we'll see. This is the equation. So E cell Emn plus slash M is equal to E0 Mn plus slash M minus 0.059 divided by N. It's the same into log 1 divided by reactant ion raised to stoichiometric coefficient. Why is there no product ion? Because you can see in the equation there is no ion in the product side, only in the reactant side there is an ion. So it remains as 1. So the example I told you, I discussed about SHE. The example comes here. The SHE is an example for a Nernst equation for a half cell. So see, over here it's H plus 2H plus 2 electrons giving H2. I'll show the Nernst equation for a SHE. So E cell is equal to, we know E0 cell of a SHE is 0. 0 minus, we know 0.59, 0.059, sorry, 0.059 divided by N, the number of electrons. You can see the number of electrons over here is 2. So 2 into log 1 divided by, see how many H plus is there? 2 H plus is there. So H plus raised to the stoichiometric coefficient. This is the stoichiometric coefficient. So now we'll simplify it again. So E cell is equal to minus 0.0295 log 1 by H plus raised to 2. So this is the Nernst equation for a half cell. Now we'll discuss about the equilibrium constant of Nernst equation, or for a Nernst equation. So what happens in the anode and cathode of a cell? Let's see. In the oxidation half, this is the oxidation half cell and this is the reduction half cell, and this is the setup of a Daniell cell. We know that. So in the oxidation half cell, what happens is when the reaction progresses, the electrode potential increases. Whereas in the case of the reduction half cell, the electrode potential decreases as the reaction proceeds. So what happens when there is a mutual increase and decrease? There's a common point, or there is a point at which both the values of both the electrode potentials is the same, and that point is known as the equilibrium. So I'll show you the graph of it. So the graph goes like this. Over here we have to write the reduction potential. Over here the progress of reaction. Now let's see of the example of Daniell cell. Over here it is 0.34 volt, and over here 0.76, sorry, minus 0.76 volt. So what I told you, in the cathode what happens, the electrode potential decreases. So this is the cathode, because copper electrode potential is 0.34 and it's greater. When a graph is drawn, the positive value comes first, comes first, and beneath that comes a negative value. So that's how, let's see, it decreases. Yeah, we learned it. And what happens in the reduction part, sorry, in the oxidation part? The electrode potential increases. And at this point, they become the same. So over here what happens, the E cell is equal to 0. Okay, and the reaction stops here. The equilibrium is attained and the reaction stops here. So since Zn2 plus and Cu2 plus attains equilibrium concentrations, then we can write, or we can replace Zn2 plus square bracket divided by Cu2 plus square bracket as Kc. What is Kc? Kc is the equilibrium constant. So what is it? Zn2 plus by Cu2 plus is equal to Kc in the case of Daniell-Sen. So now we will first represent the Nernst equation for a Daniell-Sen with the equilibrium constant instead of this value. Let's see. So now we will discuss about the Nernst equation of a Daniell-Sen. So we know that Zn2 plus by Cu2 plus is equal to Kc. That's our equilibrium constant. Now we will write the Nernst equation for a Daniell-Sen. So for a Daniell-Sen, E cell is equal to E0 cell minus, we know what is the number of number of electrons inside a reaction of a Daniell-Sen. It's 2 electrons because we have 2 plus. So we will write it as 0.059 divided by 2 is 0.0295 log, what was our product ion? Zn2 plus, that is no stoichiometric coefficient, and Cu2 plus, that is again no stoichiometric coefficient. So this was our equation. Now we know this, that Kc is equal to, or Zn2 plus by Cu2 plus is equal to Kc. Therefore our equation is E0 cell is equal to E0 cell minus 0.0295 log Kc. This is our equation. Now we will substitute in the case, we'll assume that E0 cell is 0. Not E0 cell, sorry, E cell is 0. So if E cell is equal to 0, E0 cell minus 0.0295 log Kc. Yeah, we'll assume that. Therefore, E0 cell is equal to 0.0295 log Kc. See, this is the E0. This is the E0 cell. Okay, not E cell. It's the E0 cell. How do you find it? Using log Kc. So in general, E0 cell is equal to what? 0.059 divided by n. I wrote it 0.0295 because it was 0.059 divided by 2. So over here it is 0.059 divided by n because we don't know the number of electrons. It's a general equation. So that is 0.059 divided by n log Kc. Now we got this. Now we'll find what is log Kc. That is also required, no? Log Kc is equal to what? E0 cell into n divided by 0.059. That is written as log Kc is equal to n E0 cell divided by 0.059. So this is the equation for log Kc. Next we are going to discuss about the Gibbs free energy of an electrochemical cell. So what is Gibbs free energy? That is the amount or the measure of work done by a cell is known as Gibbs free energy. So that is represented by delta G0 and it's conventionally taken as negative. So it's a negative entity. Always Gibbs free energy is a negative entity. Now, so we said it's work done. Now what is work done? Work done is the product of EMF and the total charge passed through it. That is E0 cell into N into F. So N is the number of electrons and F is the charge. It's Faraday. So we will see what is the equation. So the equation is, we said that Gibbs free energy is the work done and work done is EMF into the total current passing through it. So we'll write the equation. So delta G0 is equal to minus work done. That's equal to minus. What is minus work done? Minus into EMF, that is E0 cell into N into F. we'll write it as delta G0 is equal to minus NF E0 cell. This is the equation for Gibbs free energy. So now I'll be discussing about the Gibbs free energy and equilibrium constant. So let's see it. So we know the equilibrium constant is Kc. So we have to write an equation which contains Kc. We'll write it as E0 cell. We know that the equation of E0 cell. E0 cell is equal to 2.303 RT divided by NF into log Kc. So equilibrium constant comes here. And then next it's Gibbs free energy. That is the equation that we discussed just a minute ago. So let's write that equation too. Delta G0 is equal to minus NF E0 cell. And we'll mark this as equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. So we'll substitute equation number 1 to equation number 2. Let's see. So delta G0 is equal to minus NF into E0 cell is over here 2.303 RT divided by NF into log Kc. Yeah, now NF gets cancelled. So what is it? Therefore, delta G0 is equal to 2.303 RT log Kc. It's minus, okay? The negative is not cancelled, the negative is still remaining. So, delta G0 is equal to minus 2.303 RT log Kc. So, this is the equation. So, that's all for today's video and I have come to the end of part 3. I hope you might have seen part 1 and part 2. If not, I will put it in the description below and also I'll upload notes of this part. I hope you might have liked my video. If so, if you have liked it, please do hit the like button, share my video, comment, and if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe it. So, see you soon in my next video. Till then, bye-bye.